Hello, welcome to Train Sim World 5, where today I am going to do the last scenario on Blackpool branches, which is oiled up. Severe... I'll try that without making a mistake. Severe disruption on the West Coast Main Line has caused heavy delays to all services in the area. One service affected is your trip to Burnnays, which has been sat stranded near Warrington Bank Way. Bank Key. A path has been found, however, to allow delivery of the fuel to the ICI facility. This is a Class 47. And it's on oil rather than passenger. It means once I've done this one, I'll have done all of the default scenarios for the Blackpool branches route. It'll be the first route I've done all the scenarios on, and it should be mostly non-stop, hopefully. There's a few routes that I would like to get at some point. The West Coast Main Line over Shap. Oh, it's starting. Oiled up. Let's read what gets told to read. Where am I? This looks like Preston. Severe disruption on the West Coast Main Line has caused heavy delays to all service in the area. One service affected your trip to Burnnays. A path has been found, however, to allow delivery of the fuel to the ICI facility. Your service is due to arrive in a few minutes. Wait for it, basically. Parcels vans. Can I go in them while I'm... that door. Empty. I'm going to leave the door open. Be naughty. Come on, train. Where are you? That it? No, that's a Class 142. That would be it. That's... heading in the opposite way, I think. Okay, it looks blue sky to me. Not what's over there? That's a Class 142. There's an oil train heading south. Wonder which line my train's coming in. Let's go back into map and see if it's anywhere near. Yeah, that's the southbound train. Here it is. There's my train. Get a screenshot of it. Right, I've got to open the door. Right, up. Sit down. Do what I always do. Wiper on. Where's the master key? There's the master key. I don't know where the AWS is. Brake selector, battery isolation. I want the AWS on. I'm not too worried about timing at the moment because it's got a red signal. Engine start and stop. Emergency brake valve. Driver's brake. Okay. Don't know how to turn the AWS on. That's the lights. I've still got a red signal, so I'm able to have a look around. Can I... what's that give me? Marker lights, desk lights, tail light. Still got a red signal. Straight brake. Okay. There we go. Release brakes. I think that's turned the AWS on. We should. If I open that window, I can see if we're moving. Off we go. In not very nice weather. With our train of oil tankers. I'm hoping that's turned the AWS alarm on. It's one thing I can do with this. I can have the door open. That's just the changeover lever. It doesn't... I don't know. I'll have both doors open. That's the horn. Anything over here for turning the AWS on? Another horn. DSD. That shows what the brake is. That's the handbrake. Cab light. Not rushing. Can speed up a bit. There's a Class 142 in orange. I'd love to know how to turn the AWS on. I just have no idea. Dead man's pedal. Technically, when I got up, that should have depressed and yeah, it should have depressed and it should have stopped. But I still don't know how to turn that on either. It's the emergency brake over that side. It's 35 miles an hour here. I don't think we'll get up to much more than about 45, maybe 50 miles an hour with this train. Because it's quite long. Definitely can't work out how to turn AWS on. Then again, AWS isn't actually used once we're off the West Coast Main Line. So make it a bit quieter. It's quite loud with the window open. Let's just see how big this train actually is. 1, 2, 3. 10 wagons. So not overly long, but still relatively heavy. These will probably be empties if they go into the oil terminal. Green signal. Next one's yellow. So we're following the Class 142 that went out ahead of us. That's okay. Shouldn't catch up to it. that can do higher speed than I can. Now go 51 miles an hour. When we get to the junction that the freight only line leaves, it'll be clear signals. There's the yellow. No AWS ramps, so no point in worrying about AWS. Need to be ready to start slowing down because the signal's red ahead. Still red. Just trying to creep to this signal without stalling. Denied. No route available, so I'm going to have to stop at this signal. Which is signal SK12. Sun's coming out, so I'll open window. Oh, we got a green. Or a yellow. Can add a bit more speed. Looks like it stopped raining. There we go. Signals. The wiper's out the way now. We've got to go into the down goods loop. And I hit the emergency brake accidentally. Let the brake off. That's cleared. A little bit of throttle. Trying to get along without wheel spin. We have to stop in this loop. And then, when we've stopped, another train will pass. Thought I'd sound the horn a little bit. Definitely drying up. Going downhill slightly, so should be okay. Just idling to stay at roughly this speed until we get to where we need to stop. There's the train that we had to wait to move out of the way to let pass. We've still got a red signal, which we have to stop for. Which is why I've just applied the brakes a little bit. Just have to wait for the signal now. It's gone yellow, so we can go. Do the horn properly. Brakes released. And we've got 8.6 miles before we stop at Poulton Le Field. Once we're out of the goods loop. Wrong one on that bump and then that. It's clear back there. We've now got a green. I have to try and stay within the speed limit while we leave the goods loop. There's the signal box. I don't need to look straight up. And don't need any more throttle at the moment. We're just idling while we leave the loop. Go through whatever old station this is. It's not got a... Okay, it has got a running in board. But we're going to Poulton Le Field. get some speed up. You've got a yellow signal, but given that we're not really going that fast, the next signal should still be green, or should still be yellow by the time we get to it. We have got a timetable to keep up to. I am keeping an eye on that signal. Hopefully it'll go yellow before I get to it. Otherwise I'll have to slow down, which I don't really want to do. I'm having to slow down. Typical. Got a 30 mph limit in 1.5 miles. We've got a green signal. At least it stopped raining. We got a yellow signal, not a green signal, but I knew what I meant. Hopefully that red signal that's now the next one will be green. It'll have gone yellow by the time I get to it. I'm not sure if it will or not. It's a bit loud with the windows open. While I'd like to have the windows open, they're a little bit too loud. That signal's not changing. That signal has changed, but I need to slow down to below 30 anyway. Because we've got a 30 mph limit, then a 40, then a 30. Which is where we're changing tracks by the look of it. Yep. $10 to do 6.6 miles. Here's the first bit of junction. where we go across to the right. And then we go across to the right again, because we're now heading towards Blackpool North temporarily. And then it goes up to 40. Once the whole train's in the section. I think I'm going to be a little bit late into Poulton. Because I'm having to follow the... There we got green signals. I can accelerate up to 40. I've got 6 miles before I get to Poulton Le Filed. Which is quite a way away. Really? Oh well. At least oil isn't time sensitive. That's how I'm going to view it. There's the line down to Blackpool South. Off that way. Well, this is the line to the oil depot. Because I think that's the one towards Blackpool. I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, old bridge. Yeah, we're still on the Blackpool North line at the moment. And we should be able to get up to 60. If the diesel will do it. Over a little stream. There's a line there. Don't know where that goes. Switch to double track. Less than 5 miles to Poulton Le Filed. But we've got to stop in the platform. Which will probably be... That's that crossing. I saw the whistle sign, so I did the whistle. Or horn. On a diesel. I'm not going to make it to Poulton Le Filed on time. I can guarantee that. Oh, that's a nice place for a signal box. I can guarantee I'm not going to make it to the next objective on time. If I hadn't had to follow those signals and slow down so much, I probably would. But I had to slow down quite considerably so that I didn't pass the signals at danger, because that'd immediately fail the scenario. Okay, cut power. Because I'm doing nearly 60 miles an hour, which is the speed limit for freight. Freight and passenger, I think. 3 miles. And we're just coasting along nicely. Which is what we want to be doing. These diesels can do 95 miles an hour on a passenger train. Brake a little bit. Brake released. Still green signals. I saw the crossing, but I missed the whistle sign. Looks like it might start raining again. Which isn't good. Oh. We're doing a decent speed, at least. We're going to have to slow down shortly to 50. In fact, we're going to have to slow down to more than that. Because we're 1.4 miles away from where we have to stop. Which is obviously to get the single line token for the oil line. I've got half a minute to do a mile. Not going to happen. We're going uphill now, so that's good. That will slow us down. Release the brakes completely so we don't slow down too much too soon. We do want to stop in the platform. So, brakes. Here's Bolton Leffield, which is the junction for the two different lines. It's an impressive station. Apply the brakes now. And we should come to a stop before the signal. Especially if I do a complete brake dump. Like so. At least I'm not having to wait overly long. I'm just releasing the brakes already. Leave it at that. And that was telling the signalman that I'm ready to go. Let's see if I can go without struggling. Yep. Nice gentle leap. Next is Bernays. Come on, a little bit more speed. Trying to do this without wheel spin. Off we go. We should be crossing over here and going straight across. We're now on to the freight only branch. This is the bit I have not yet driven on this route. So I'm going to learn it as we play this section. Ooh, we got a 15. So this is not a very fast line. A little bit of locking up there. You've got 3 miles. Just over. At looks like 15 miles an hour most of the way. Give chance for us to look at the scenery, I suppose. Oh, it's back up to 35. Even that gives chance to look at the scenery. That used to be a triangular junction. Interesting. And we're now down to single track. Not worried about speed now, because we've not got to keep to a timetable. We just have to pay attention to future speed limits and watch for whistle signs. This is the bit of the route that I am learning as I go. in real life, drivers know the routes that they're on. They have what's known as route knowledge. They don't do it by eye. A little bit of a lock up there. But simulated, it doesn't matter so much, because you're basically not doing real life driving. Right, cut the power because we're nearly at 35. We don't want to be going over that. There's a fixed distance. I'm not sure if this bit of line is still open or not. I shall have a look on Google Maps. It looks overgrown on Google Maps. So it's mothballed. There's some bits where there's clear track, but other than that, it's mothballed. And the old here we are, 1.3 miles away, still going at 31 miles an hour. I didn't realise it started raining again. Whoops. Paying attention to Google Maps while I'm driving, not a good idea. Right, power completely off. Old signal box abandoned. And we have 1 mile before we have to stop. Start bringing the speed down to 20. Let my laptop think about this. I've got the detail on ultra settings, so it does require a bit more thinking power to get the yeah. requires a bit more processing power and a bit more memory to get all the detail loaded in. Just make it so that we don't stop, because we've still got 0.7 miles before we have to stop. There's the oil stuff. So we have to back into there, I think. Turn the cab lights on because it's getting dark and I can't see what I'm doing. Are they both on? Yeah. How far? 900 yards. Actually, I can barely see out the cab window with that on, so I won't have the cab lights on. I'm surprised there isn't another train in the area. Going along at a nice steady 14 miles an hour. That's a run round loop that we've just gone past. Where are we going to be backing into? That is the question. I'm sure this would be a nice area if it wasn't tipping it down with rain in game. Ah, we're going to be backing into there, are we? Okay. We just have to make sure we get far enough forward that we can do so. And cut power completely. Come to a nice gentle stop. Just here. Do you want to have a look at something? Does that go any further? Oh, it doesn't go much further. Okay. So we just now back into there. So we want straight brake on. I have to get out and set the junction by the looks of it. It's quite a long bit of walking past all my empty tank wagons. There's the point lever. I could have done it from the map. But it's fun coming out to go and see it. Can I take the lamp off now? No. Can't take the lamp off. Nowadays that would be a flashing red light. Sounds like there's thunder in-game. Nearly at my diesel. There's me class 47. Climb up. Sit down. Right. Reverser to reverse. Release. Brake. And release that. And now, I do need to look like this. We're pushing uphill, so it requires a little bit of power. I'm looking this. Let's just do that. I can see when I need to stop then. Get a photo of that. Even though it's grey and murky, it's still a nice long freight train. There we go. Screenshot taken. I can actually see the beam of light with the rain going into it. Never noticed that before. Right. Power down a bit. Go under this oil pipe with my drone. I can see where the diesel's meant to stop. Not far away. And I'll probably have to uncouple as well. We're actually slowing down at roughly the right rate. Now we're on the level, it won't be slowing down as much. Look, a little pond. Oh. And then we got all the oil terminal stuff there. Objective complete. Go back into that view. Set the reverser to off. Remove master key. Let's just do the headlights off. Marker lights off. Let's make it a bit quiet. Okay, I can jump out. I'm on top of the pipes. Not a good idea. There we go. And that is the end of the scenario. Tiny bit of speeding, but I get a gold medal. So, driven 18.8 miles. Walked 617.97 yards. Most of that was changing the points. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this different type of train sim video where I've done a oil train. I don't know what next week's videos will be just yet. Friday's Thomas sim video is Bishop's Lydia to Minehead. I'm not sure when there's going to be any real steam, but when there is, I'll record it and upload the video. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please consider subscribing, because I would like some more subscribers, especially if you're new to the channel. And until next time, be seeing you.